On our wedding anniversary, Preston openly pulled his childhood sweetheart onto the dance floor and pressed her against him. Every eye in the room flicked toward me. The whole spectacle suddenly felt tiresome, so I turned and walked out. Behind me, his irritated voice barked, "Serena, what's your problem? Have some class." I had played the perfect wife for 3 years, no more. I spun around and flipped him the bird. Shock flashed across Preston's face before he chased after me and caught my hand. "Tonight's supposed to be fun. Why ruin it? You're the one ruining it. If the music's still playing, why stop? Don't leave your guests standing around. I'm tired. I'm going home. You know I get insomnia, miss the window, and I'm up all night." My composure startled him. When he realized I meant it, he hurried me to the car. "Guests can wait. It's our anniversary after all." He flashed the crooked grin that once would have kept me awake with excitement. Now it left me cold. I slid into the passenger seat and knew at once something was off. The chair was shoved too far forward, and the floor mat glittered with a mosaic of glued-on rhinestones. "She wanted them," Preston said. "Claims the sparkle puts people in a good mood. Generous of you." His expression iced over. "It's just decoration, Serena. Quit the snide remarks." "Sorry. My mistake. Can we go?" The apology landed like a punch on cotton. He stared, then started the engine. We'd barely left the driveway when the girl hiked up her gown and ran after us, watching the car disappear. Preston saw her too. His knuckles whitened on the wheel. "Turn around. If she can't see you, she'll cry herself sick." That gave him the excuse he needed. He braked. "Wait here. I'll be right back." He swung the car around and sped off, leaving me on the curb. I didn't wait, hailed a cab and went home. Predictably, Preston never came back. Instead, Chloe posted a WhatsApp shot of an 4 needle in her hand. "Stomach pain, but at least I have you." A man's hand covered hers, Preston's. I'd know those fingers anywhere. His buddies flooded the comments. "You two are lethal. Stop flexing on us single dogs. He's literally your painkiller now. So you've quit hiding it?" One reply stuck out. "Tell Preston when he's free. I need to discuss divorce." When I refreshed, the post had vanished. I snorted. "That's your best punch." Chloe was rushing the playbook. She didn't get it. If I was done with Preston, I wasn't about to scream at him like she expected. I silenced my phone and slept until dawn. Preston still hadn't shown. I was buttering toast when he strode in, looking disgustingly refreshed. "What's the game, Serena?" "Stirring drama for kicks." She felt unsafe alone, so she called me. "Understood. Can you sign?" I tapped the folder. "I'm on a schedule." His face cycled through every shade of fury. "I won't. The only Vance is you, now and always." Once, those words would have made me cry gratitude. Now they were punchline material. "Watch the road," I said. He blinked, then shut up. 2 minutes later, his phone shrieked. "Chloe, deity" on the screen. I smirked. Preston cleared his throat, hit answer, and stomped the brake. "Stay put, I'm coming." Her stomach again. I unbuckled. "Your deity has tummy trouble, I get it. I'll find my own ride." Ignoring his glare, I stepped into traffic, flagged the black SUV behind us, and climbed in. Preston hesitated a heartbeat, then drove off. Behind the wheel, Victoria snorted. "Since when am I your chauffeur, Serena? I'll drive you next time." She rolled her eyes. "Told you, you'd charge a brick wall. Still can't quit that stallion." I exhaled and leaned back. "I can. Divorce papers are drafted." Tires screeched as Victoria swerved to the curb. "You're serious? Tired of the Vance gig, time for a new lane." Meeting her stare, I said slowly, "Help me make you head of Vance, and I'll boot Preston for you." "Deal." She took forever to answer. "Names have power. I'm holding you to it." "What's your price?" 80% of Preston's net worth. She laughed. "Done, if you can pull it off. Stay tuned. Right now I need a nap. Home, please." Victoria said nothing, just drove. Eyes closed, I ran the numbers. Marrying Preston had been a strategic merger. When the family asked if I'd take him, I'd said yes without blinking. He came gift-wrapped in good genes. In our circles, you might as well pick the handsome one. The first trimester was fine, then Chloe resurfaced. Men are simple creatures. If it's warm, they'll chase it. Preston actually thought she was destiny? A fallback wearing true love lipstick. If childhood sweethearts had failed once, the Vance archives on Chloe were thick. Preston just didn't care. Back home, I soaked in the tub. When I slipped into bed, Preston burst in, clutching a gigantic peony bouquet and a velvet box. I skimmed the card signed Mr. M and opened the lid, a lily-shaped diamond brooch. I tossed both aside and rolled over. "That's enough pouting," he snapped. "I'm here, aren't I?" Chloe felt awful, and her folks are overseas. Who else would she call? Sure. Good night, I'm beat. I yanked the duvet over my head. The verbal punch landed on feathers, leaving him speechless. Minutes later, the mattress dipped as he slid in and circled my waist. A faint gardenia scent clung to his skin, nausea hit. I slapped the arm away. Preston flicked on the lamp. Serena, quit the theatrics. I danced too close, so what? Friends were laughing. Loosen up. Can I sleep? You know insomnia eats me alive. Fine, guest suite it is. I left. Behind me, something glass shattered against the door. I didn't take it seriously. Did Preston actually think I was throwing some jealous tantrum? I simply didn't want to entangle myself with him. One extra word felt nauseating. To my surprise, Preston got fired up. Before bed, I glanced at my phone. He'd posted, "Dull and uptight, when will I be free?" Chloe replied instantly, "You've got me, don't worry." I double-tapped, then commented, "Here's your freedom." Minutes later, I heard the slam of a door. Looked like I'd annoyed him again. Whatever. I wired 200 grand out from my phone, then slept like a baby. Next morning, my phone lit up with photos. Last night's shots of Preston rendezvousing with Chloe, wrapped around each other. With these in hand, I could finally make my move. I headed to Vance at dawn. From down the corridor, I caught a chorus of gossip. "Last night was the boss's anniversary. Did you see him and Chloe? Perfect match. OMG, you'd swear they were the couple. Poor Serena's basically a widow. Back then, Serena used her family clout to force the marriage. Now the boomerang's smacking her. Embarrassing." I snorted. They jumped, faces turning green when they saw me. I strolled over. Pitiful as I may be, I'm still the legal wife worth 9 figures. You'd better pray I don't divorce him. Take half his fortune and he'll be handing out pink slips. People whose values are as crooked as their faces? Your first round out. The hallway went dead. I shoved open Preston's office door. "Preston, we need to talk." He was cooing into his phone. "Lunch with you, yeah, be good." After hanging up, looking sheepish, I beat him to it, wrapping the desk. "I don't care what's between you two, but outside these walls you rein it in. You pull a stunt, I'll retaliate." Preston bristled. I flicked the photos across the mahogany. "Tabloid Stringer dropped these on me. I paid to kill the story, reimburse me." Seeing them, he went green. "It's not what you think. I'd just had a few drinks." I waved him off. "Save it. 20 million. He inhaled, then the transfer hit my account. I exhaled and added, "Throw in the Mannion project." He sat bolt upright. "That brand already has a lead. I can give you something else." "Fine, then hand me Freeride Media." I'd settled for the lukewarm media outlet. Mannion was the toy Preston had saved for Chloe, and I couldn't pry loose. He pondered a beat, then nodded. "Deal." I smiled. "Don't relax, I'm not finished." His face darkened. "My photos are worth that much." "You?" "No. But the Vance name and equity?" "Absolutely." I lounged on the sofa. "Take a happy couple selfie with me. Wall Street hates instability. We can't let the home front cave." I wagged my phone. "Yesterday's drama is everywhere. Mom called and ordered us to lunch. You don't want Dad pissed, do you?" Preston clenched his jaw. I patted his cheek. "Look natural or it'll blow up." I snapped the shot on his phone and posted, then liked it myself. Netizens immediately chimed in. "Preston's PDA is killing us." Overnight rumors fizzled. Vance rang right away. I answered on speaker. "Darling, come for lunch at noon, bring Preston." "Got it, Mom." "I'm in his office. We'll head over together." I held the phone to his lips, cornered. He muttered, "Okay, I'll be there." Call ended, I rose. "I've got errands." "Don't be late." Preston's fists whitened. I grinned. He was probably dreading how to explain this to Chloe. "Don't worry, I'll help you." Outside, the gossip squad clutched their belongings, eyes red, mouths shut when they saw me. I smiled, no bite, no bark. As I turned the corner, a brutal shove sent me stumbling. Before I could rage, crash! A terracotta planter smashed where I'd stood. Cold sweat drenched me. I looked up, no one in sight. Then my phone dinged with an image. My hand jerked and the device clattered to the floor. "Serena, someone just threatened you." I didn't need to turn, Victoria's voice. On screen, a blood-soaked shot of my dog, the one I walked and pampered. Number was spoofed, the menace was real. "That planter?" "No accident." I steadied my breath. "No big deal, cornered rats bite." Victoria arched a brow. "And the lovey-dovey act." "Patience, princess." Guess what I scored? I slapped the contract against her chest. She blinked. "A media company? It's half dead. I've already booked 3 top-tier influencers. Viral reach is king. Plus, microseries scripts are being polished. Victoria, fast money rules. Preston's Casey projects? Slow returns. Ours will mint cash. She rolled her eyes but smirked. Fine. I've got a couple fill my peas. Now it's your turn to deliver. We drove to the Vance estate. En route I posted a clip. Vance summoning us to lunch. Visible only to Chloe, who loves that trick. At the gate Chloe hovered, gift basket in hand. The butler blocked her. Please, I'm just here to see Vance. Let me in. Victoria and I exchanged glances, she snickered. Let her, saves Preston whining later. Wouldn't want that blame. The butler stepped aside. Chloe brushed past me, hissing. Cling all you like, you'll never own his heart. I need his heart. I need his wallet. Silent, I watched her saunter in, thinking she'd scored. Vance! Serena's here. Where's that rascal Preston? He better not bail. She bypassed Chloe and headed for me. She doesn't love me, but next to Chloe I'm still the presentable one. I smiled. He and Victoria will wrap up work. We'll wait. Then, loud enough for Chloe. Sam, fancy seeing you. Preston says you're cozy with some actor. Any announcement coming? Chloe flushed. Vance narrowed her eyes. No wonder your dance with Preston was so polished. Plenty of practice. Well, birds of a feather, turtles match with turtles. Chloe's face burned, tears brimming. I was a little stunned. I hadn't expected Vance to have such a venomous tongue, and in front of her Chloe didn't dare breathe too loudly. All she could do was clench her fists. Suddenly the butler's voice rang out from the foyer. The young master's back. Chloe's eyes lit up. She jumped to her feet and rushed out. Vance's anger flared again. She turned to me. Look at you and look at her. That's your husband. Don't worry, Mom. He's my husband. He can't fly out of the palm of my hand. Vance exhaled in frustration, while Chloe stood there wronged, eyes darting between me and Preston. Preston. Preston's face was so dark it could have dripped ink. He patted her hand, pulled her inside, and the moment he stepped into the room he attacked me. Serena, you bullied her again. Who would dare bully her? Vance cut in. Preston, get this straight. Tonight is a family dinner. After yesterday's fiasco, if it weren't for Serena, you'd be hemorrhaging in the press right now. She hated the thought of wasted iron. Your father's phone hasn't stopped ringing since dawn. Uncles, partners, all asking if you'd taken a mistress and whether we were swapping daughters-in-law. If this project collapses, your father will skin you alive. And Sam. Vance looked at Chloe in disgust. After the spectacle you made yesterday, I'd rather you didn't come at all. Chloe immediately humbled herself. Vance, I only came to apologize. I was childish yesterday. I know I was wrong. If you know you were wrong, then please leave. Don't come again without good reason. Preston frowned. Mom, Chloe has no friends here. She's just. So she has to cling to somebody else's husband? Preston, go to the study. Your father's waiting upstairs. Sam, I won't keep you. Goodbye. With dismissal delivered, Preston couldn't openly shame his mother. He squeezed Chloe's shoulder. Go home first. I'll call you later. Chloe had no choice but to leave. Preston was summoned upstairs. Whatever Vance told him turned his face thundercloud dark, yet at dinner he still conscientiously lifted food onto my plate. Victoria smiled from across the table. The rumor mill claims you two can't stand each other. Looks cozy enough to me. Preston nodded. Don't believe the nonsense out there. Victoria gave me a half smirk. Preston forked a piece of peanut pastry onto my dish. I raised an eyebrow and slid it aside. His expression fell. What, you're rejecting me? Victoria laughed, scooped the pastry into her own bowl, and said, She's allergic to peanuts. Didn't you know? Preston was stunned. Sorry, I forgot. Try the shrimp. You love shrimp. Victoria laughed again. Preston, pay attention to your wife. She hates shrimp. What she likes is mandarin fish. She placed a flake of fish on my plate. Riley. No thanks needed. Preston couldn't stay seated any longer. He cleared his throat. Didn't realize you knew my wife better than I do. Of course. Serena and I were college classmates, student council partners, actually. Preston's face turned green. I peeled a shrimp and laid it on Victoria's plate. I remember you love garlic prawns. We exchanged a smile while Preston sulked through the rest of the meal. When he drove me home, he asked, You two were always this tight? So back then. But we're family now, might as well get along. Preston snorted. Don't forget, in families like ours, sibling love is mostly decorative. We were never close growing up. I understood. He was jealous. Victoria had been groomed as the heir until a disastrous marriage got her exiled abroad. When she came back, everything had been transferred to Preston, and she had had to claw her way up the company ladder on merit alone. Lately he'd grown paranoid that she would snatch his throne, and now he saw us bonding. I patted his arm. Relax. Victoria and I, impossible. Only then did he relax. He didn't hear my unspoken follow-up. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and nothing is immutable. When profit calls, grudges can turn to alliances, something Preston had never understood. Ahead at the intersection, Chloe's car seemed to have stalled. I arched a brow. Preston braked and jogged over to her. Whatever he said, Chloe tugged his sleeve coquettishly, and Preston's face softened into tenderness I had never seen directed at me. He'd never shown me even a flicker of affection. After a moment, Chloe noticed me approaching. "Sorry, Dylan, my car died. Mind giving me a ride?" "I do mind." My bluntness startled her. Preston stepped between us. "You'd leave her stranded?" "Serena, show some compassion. You misunderstood. I meant you can stay here with her. I'll drive your car back." Problem solved. Preston blinked. Chloe's smile froze. I circled to the driver's door, slid behind the wheel. "Preston, keep her company. I have things to do, see you later." "All right, I'll wait with her." "Go ahead." "Sure. Take your time, keep her entertained." I floored the accelerator and left them in a haze of dust. Bastard. Last time he'd abandoned me roadside, now it was his turn. The tow truck wouldn't reach this stretch of nowhere for 40 minutes. The Vance estate sat in splendid isolation, no village ahead, no store behind. Chloe must be glowing. Private time with Preston at last. She didn't know I'd handed her the opportunity on purpose. 2 hours later, the internet erupted. A clip showed Preston kissing Chloe in the back seat, clear footage every angle. The story went viral instantly. Vance fainted from rage and was rushed to the hospital. When the call came, I went straight there. Preston arrived moments later. Vance met him with a resounding slap. "You animal. I warned you to stay out of trouble. Couldn't wait. Had to grope her on the highway? And you let a tabloid stringer film it. Where's your brain?" Preston's face was ash. I poured oil on the fire. "Preston, I just buried that last photo, and now you hand the press fresh ammunition. What exactly do you want?" Vance's eyes bulged. "What photo?" "Dad, calm down. On our anniversary night, he went to Chloe. The paparazzi caught them." Vance almost collapsed. "Preston, you insist on humiliating us again and again. Do you have any idea how many predators are circling Vance?" Only then did Preston grasp the gravity, because at the far end of the corridor, reporters were already swarming. I stepped forward. "I'll handle it." I ushered the reporters into a side lounge for the interview. Half an hour later, they emerged, shooting Preston looks of open disdain. I sneered inwardly. After they left, I found him smoking in the stairwell and pinched the cigarette dead. "Show some respect, this is a hospital. I cleaned up your mess this time. Next time try remembering who you are." Preston glared at me. "You set this up, didn't you? How else would reporters just happen to show?" "Preston, even at my worst I'd never air our dirty laundry now. And how could I predict her car would break down? If you want a divorce, fine, just stop poisoning everything." I walked off without another word. He exhaled, watching my back, words dying in his throat. He'd guessed right. I'd called the press. A media company exists to be used. This was only the appetizer. The hit shook Preston badly. The tabloid stringers never chased him. Instead, they funneled every drop of scandal onto Chloe, branding her the other woman who'd crashed our marriage, the classic homewrecker who'd pulled Preston onto the dance floor on our anniversary. Chloe sobbed in her penthouse condo and threatened suicide, claiming depression. Preston was pulled 3 ways, comforting Mrs. Mother-in-law, rushing to Chloe, facing me. I stayed buried in work. Whenever he tried to talk, I waved him off. Swamped, no time. After a while, he got the message. I wanted him nowhere near me. A month later, the top-tier influencers I'd launched finished pivoting into a micro-series. 24 hours online, it had racked up 300 million in sales. The numbers rocketed us onto the trending tab. Headlines praised me. Love life in ruins, career on fire. Victoria flashed me a grin and an upturned thumb. "Your chain trap was genius. How'd you know Chloe would bite?" I wagged my phone. "She measures herself against me. Sure, childhood romance beats everything." I wanted her to learn. Preston didn't pick her back then. She'd already lost. Spare me that unloved equals other woman crap. I'm the legal wife the law recognizes. Victoria looked genuinely awed. "So what now? Looks like Preston wants back in. Do you take him?" I rolled my eyes. "Hard pass. Your end almost ready." She laughed. "The second you move, I'm in. Let Preston keep dreaming." We shared a smile. Under my steering, the media outfit had exploded overnight. By the time Preston noticed, we were unstoppable. Besides, he'd already signed the company over to me. Just as Chloe launched her pity tour, I served Preston with divorce papers. He stared, stunned. "Serena, you're divorcing me? Over one kiss." "Kiss. Didn't you sleep together? No. Pathetic. I'd almost respect him if he'd owned it. I shook my head. Every time you came home you reeked of gardenias. I hate that scent. Chloe bathes in that brand. Explain why you'd shower at her place. His face drained of color. Spare me. Chloe already mailed me the receipts. She's good for nothing except being dumb enough to hand me evidence. She thought that stunt would drive me off. Instead, she gift-wrapped the proof. The settlement's on the table. Sign or we go to court and the press feasts your call. Only then did he realize I was serious. Fury lit his eyes. He tore the agreement to pieces. Never. Divorce is off the table. He stormed out, slamming the door. I studied the empty frame. Preston, it's over. I used to fight tooth and nail every time I saw you with her, even when your staff gossiped in front of me. Then I learned. If the sand slips through your fingers, scatter it. I won't force what you don't want. I'm exhausted. Let's stop torturing each other. Sign and we both breathe. His step faltered, but he kept walking. I sighed. Hard road ahead. If he wouldn't sign, I'd sue. Impatient, I turned to Chloe. I hoped she wouldn't bore me. Chloe slit her wrists and was admitted to a private hospital suite. She begged Preston to visit. He refused. When I arrived, I heard her shrieking behind the door. Pay me off. Never. Preston and I grew up together. Tell him to face me. He won't come, Miss Channing. Take the offer or go back overseas. She collapsed. No. It's that bitch Serena. I knocked. May I come in? Her eyes blazed. What do you want? To talk. Jordan, give us a minute. Jordan stepped out. Chloe snapped. Save your breath. I'm not leaving Preston. I'm not here to split you up. I want you to chase him. Hard. Why on earth would you help me? Because I want out, but he won't sign. The divorce papers? He tore them. I sat down. Chloe, we've battled 3 years. I'm done. Your turn on stage. Ride this PR firestorm. Show me what you've got. Honestly, a man like Preston bores me now. Snag him and I disappear. You'll never see me again. Really? Scout's honor. I work fast, you get 3 days. If he hasn't signed by then, I find another way. I stood to leave. Don't disappoint me. Only you can make Preston notice. Her lips curved into a triumphant grin. Watch me. I'll make sure he can't live without me. I nodded and walked out. Preston was drowning. Inside Vance, Victoria circled like a shark, swallowing every project he touched. Meanwhile, I had Chloe force him to sign the divorce papers while reporters and netizens hurled abuse outside. He finally cracked under the pressure. 3 days later, he caved. We arrived at City Hall early that morning. Preston's eyes were bloodshot, his face gaunt. He looked at me and said, Serena, do we really have no chance at all? None. Preston, we were married 3 years. I did every last thing a Vance is supposed to do. You were the one who committed infidelity. I have standards, Preston, you're dirty now. I don't want you. Tears in his eyes, he signed the agreement and we filed the papers. The moment we stepped outside, he suddenly broke down sobbing, louder than I'd ever heard him. I almost offered comfort, then thought better of it. I divorced Preston and carved up the assets in record time, spinning the media division clean out of Vance. Victoria struck at the perfect moment, blaming everything on Preston's personal misconduct and its stain on the company, then rallied the board to call an emergency shareholder meeting that booted him outright. Watching it unfold, Preston finally realized it had all been orchestrated. He stormed into the office. Serena, you set me up, didn't you? I smiled. What trap? Did I shove you into her bed, or hold your head while you kissed her? Preston, you have no boundaries. If you loved her, you should have married her. Why come to that matchmaker and mess with me? You ruined Chloe's life and you ruined mine. But at least I cut my losses in time. Preston glared, jaw clenched. Impossible, you still love me. I don't believe you. Disgust flickered across my face. Maybe once. Now. I'm young, I'm rich. I can have anyone I want. Why settle for you? I clapped and security dragged him out. Later I learned Chloe was pregnant and threatening to expose him unless he married her. Fine, if we were going down, we'd go down together. Vance and Vance were furious he'd knocked up Chloe, but he was still their son. They couldn't disown him, so they planned to sacrifice me. Too bad I got wind of it early and finished the asset split before they could blink. Only after the divorce did they grasp how brutal my revenge had been. Victoria and I voted Preston out of every power center, and I walked away with half his net worth. I carved Vance's most profitable project right out of the group, and that was when Preston understood. I hated him enough to make sure he never got back up. Cornered, the Vance family swallowed their pride and brought Chloe into the fold. Paparazzi swarmed, spinning headlines that she'd forced her way into the dynasty with a death wish and a pregnancy trap. Preston, now regretting everything, saw his white moonlight turn to mosquito blood. The more he looked at Chloe, the sicker he felt. He refused her any nuptials, promising only that if she produced a son, he might marry her. Greedy for the lifestyle, Chloe harassed Preston daily. With him booted from Vance and nothing left to do, he was stuck at her side. Distance makes beauty. Remove distance and beauty dies. And Preston kept showing up at my door, which sent Chloe into fits of jealousy. She dragged him onto Fifth Avenue demanding answers. They screamed at each other until, in a rage, Preston shoved her. Chloe stumbled backward, tumbled down the marble staircase, and the 3-month pregnancy was gone. The doctors told her she'd never carry another child. Unhinged, she grabbed a knife and stabbed him. Preston barely survived. Just as my micro-series rocketed to its highest numbers yet, Vance called. Preston was hanging between life and death and wanted to see me. I almost said no, then went anyway. He lay in the private hospital suite, gauze wrapped around his chest, breathing faintly. When he saw me, his eyes lit up. "Serena, you came." I nodded. "I came to see whether someone like you finally got what he deserved." His smile froze, then turned bitter. "Yeah, you hate me." "I did. Now I realize you're not even worth hating. You're gone from my heart. While you trampled my dignity over and over, I kept asking myself what kind of pathetic fool I was to ever love someone so shameless. You married me but never cherished me. Why should I sacrifice anything for you? Never once did you imagine I'd endure 3 years just waiting for my opening. Preston, don't mess with women." I turned to leave. Vance stood outside, her face pale. Ran, our family wronged you." I nodded. "Yes, you did. Preston is your son, so you indulged Chloe again and again. Don't insult me by pretending the Chans had zero contact with you overseas. Enough. Don't call me again, I won't answer." Vance flushed red and white. I smiled. I'm no sterling pushover. I could tolerate Preston. That doesn't mean I'll swallow every insult from his clan. When the dust settled, Preston survived and immediately pressed charges against Chloe. They sued each other in a never-ending tabloid circus, providing fresh gossip for the internet every day. I almost found it funny. He never imagined he'd be at open war with Chloe. But whatever, it's no longer my story. Alex, never again. Thanks for listening to today's tale. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate this story? If you liked the video, give us a double tap and share it with friends. We can't wait to read your comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more gripping stories. See you next time.